Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Preimesberger, editor of eWEEK.com. Thanks for joining us for this latest segment of eWEEK eSpeaks. This is our series of casual conversations with IT thought leaders and entrepreneurs from every corner of the business. Today's interviewee is Jon Toor, Toor, and Jon is the CMO of Cloudian, and we go way back. Welcome, Jon.
Thank you very much, Chris. Great to be with you.
Yeah, good to see you and good to hear about Cloudian again. Catching up, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on in the space. The spaces that Cloudian takes up in IT, and this includes storage and security and data protection, et cetera. Right now, you guys have made some news this week, haven't you? What can you give me kind of the top of, well, first of all, can you remind our readers what Cloudian does at a high level and then tell us about the news?
Sure. Well, Cloudian is a provider of object storage systems. So we do software and hardware solutions for scale out object storage, which is commonly used in backup and archive, large scale unstructured data storage, anything you want to keep on-prem in a format that's cloud compatible, that you need to store a lot of data in your data center.
It's as simple as that, isn't it? I mean, but it's a lot more complicated than that too. So,
well, it is simple because it's a scale out solution. So it starts simple. You have an S3 API. So we speak the language of the cloud. We can start with as few as 3 nodes, and then you can grow up to an exabyte continuously without any interruption, without any downtime. It costs about 1/3 of keeping your data in the cloud. So it's cost effective, scalable, easy to use. Yeah, it's got a lot to recommend.
Yeah, Cloudian plays with a lot of different partners too, don't you? So you're versatile in that way. Tell us about what the next phase of infrastructure is going to be. It's already starting, but it's going to be gaining some momentum now, isn't it?
Absolutely, Chris. We see the cloud and on-prem worlds coming together. That's really been our mission since we began. That's where the name comes from. Is we are cloud storage in your data center, which sounds like a bit of an oxymoron, but the reality is, the data center has a very central role in any kind of applications where you have security concerns, where you have performance concerns, where cost is an issue. You're storing a lot of data. It's a lot more cost effective to keep it in your own data center. And we've been addressing all those concerns since 2011 and doing it in a way which is very compatible with cloud. So a lot of our customers use on-prem and cloud together. In a hybrid cloud scenario, we provide tiering interconnects between ourselves and AWS and GCP and Azure. It's very easy to use both worlds at the same time. And this is a big part of what we're doing overall. So for example, if you look at what we're doing with VMware, we support their Cloud Foundation initiative. And what that is running Kubernetes in your VMware environment. Well, when you start talking about modern applications like that, a lot of those modern apps are written to employ object storage as the unstructured data pool, usually using the S3 API. So within the VMware infrastructure, we provide that S3 storage using VMware's vSAN as the backend disk. So we fit right in with the existing VMware infrastructure. You don't need to add any hardware at all. You can use the existing disk you have, but you have a modern storage layer with an S3 API to support those Kubernetes applications.
Do you find, does Cloudian actually appeal to a lot of older companies, legacy companies that are looking to modernize and looking to move to the cloud, a hybrid model or a non-hybrid model using containers? And if so, do you see Cloudian's role as really being a guide along that track?
Absolutely. We have customers all the time looking for us to, hey, how do we make this work? We've got a cloud presence. We've got stuff on-prem. There's a lot of data which, for a number of reasons, just will not move to the cloud. But that doesn't mean that we're, standardizing on one or the other. We're using both, and we're asking for your advice on how we can support both. And that's really what we're all about. Is we provide a private cloud infrastructure. So you can set us up just exactly like you would use public cloud. You can have regions within your space where we can be geographically distributed. You can have a single namespace which spans the globe. So you can search all your data in a single query. You can even search your data in the cloud at the same time, because we can span a namespace from on-prem into the cloud, while managing data between both locations, performing tiering, performing replication. So we give you a lot of different options on how you can manage your on-prem and cloud environments together and basically get the best of both worlds. You know, you can use cloud where that makes sense, you can use on-prem where that makes sense, and move your data back and forth between the two to suit your, you know, your current needs, which that's one thing we're seeing is people are evolving, you know, their requirements are changing. We make it very easy to both change your Cloudian configuration over time. We have granular management that makes it very, very easy to evolve that. And we have ways of moving data between ourselves and the public cloud, so you can evolve that as well. So it's something that can grow with you as your needs change. And that's really what our customers are looking for us to help them with.
Yeah, it's all about options, choices, evolution, because that's the nature of the world, first of all, but it's the nature especially of the IT world. And you know, products and services come and go, better ones come, old ones
Right.
go. And
we're about 600 customers right now, Chris. And of those 600 customers, about 200 are service providers. So they're providing a cloud service themselves. The other 400 are enterprise customers, and they're looking for exactly what you're talking about. They're looking for this kind of evolutionary change, and how can we, you know, move with the world? How can we do things better, faster, cheaper, and, you know, get in touch with this next generation? You know, Kubernetes is something we've been supporting for a while. Obviously, we've been on the S3 API since the day we were founded. So cloud is very much in our DNA.
No question about it. Tell me about your relationship with Veeam, because I know they have a security offering, and how does that fit in with what Cloudian is offering? And also, if we could talk a little bit about the ransomware rampage right now. It's out of control right now, I think.
Yeah, well, let me start with Veeam. We've been working with Veeam specifically on the ransomware topic for well over a year now. We were the first to come to market with an object lock solution that provides an end-to-end solution for ransomware protection that's fully automated, totally hands-off. There's no manual intervention required to keep your data completely protected from ransomware by providing an immutable storage layer. So we make your data unchangeable, so that even if ransomware does break through your firewalls and other perimeter defenses, even if that happens, you've still got a copy of your data that's unencrypted, that's been protected from ransomware. And that's something we launched with Veeam over a year ago. And that's been a huge, as you can imagine, this year, that's been of tremendous interest, because, you know, the rise in attacks is just, I've never seen anything like it. You know, at 30 years in IT, we've seen a 5x increase in attacks between the beginning of 2018 and the beginning of 2021. You know, this is just unprecedented. And, you know, it's something that every company, every organization, every nonprofit, every healthcare group has been exposed to. And it's absolutely a scourge. And a part of what makes us so insidious right now is it's become easy for people to do this. You know, with ransomware as a service, now, sadly, anyone can get into this game. So it used to be you had to be technologically sophisticated. Now all you have to be able to do is to put together a good phishing email and go out on social media to make that, you know, find the information to make that email convincing, and you can get into the ransomware game. And that's what we're seeing happening. So yeah, 5x increase in attacks. 2/3 of those are using ransomware as a service as their underlying layer.
Those are amazing statistics, and astoundingly upsetting statistics.
Well, it's very upsetting because it causes, you know, business interruption. It's a risk to people's health, because healthcare organizations have been heavily targeted, local governments. And the other thing we're seeing, Chris, is that every business is now getting impacted by cyber insurance. This is something that it took a while for the insurance companies to start seeing the risk. They raised their rates some in 2020, but they're saying this year we're going to see a 50% increase in insurance rates for cyber insurance because their losses in 2020 were so heavy. They have to. And the other thing about this is not only are they raising the rates, it gets worse. They're also cutting back on the coverage. So now a lot of insurance companies are talking about co-insurance. So if you get hit with $1 million ransom payment, your company has to pay half of it. So they're not going to cover the entire, because they want you to have skin in the game as far as protecting yourself from this. And in addition to that, they're also becoming fussier on who they even grant coverage to. So it really is incumbent upon the business owners to make sure that they've got up-to-date protections and they've done everything they can to protect their data and make sure that if ransomware does break through, your data is still protected. And that's exactly where we come in. We've been, as I said, at this over a year now. We know there have been multiple Cloudian customers that have been exposed to ransomware attacks and have successfully recovered without paying any ransom. So we know this technology works. It's a hardened solution that's been verified in government testing. We're actually used in the DoD cloud. Cloudian is the backend storage for the DoD cloud called Mill Cloud 2.0. And obviously those guys are very particular about their security measures. The way our system is set up, it's not enough just to gain access to the system via the management layer. You would actually have to physically access the box to be able to change the data in any way. We protected every aspect of entry into the box other than physically coming at the thing with a hammer. So it's very, very well thought out. It's very hardened. It's proven in government testing. We've got all the security certifications. And the other exciting thing is this is a completely automated workflow. There's no manual intervention required. So one thing people have been concerned about is, hey, if I'm trying to manage data make my data immutable, if I have to remove the media from a library, how do I physically access it? Where's that? Who's going to do that? There's none of that required. This is completely automated. It's all built into how you're managing the data via the S3 API. And that's the really exciting thing is this is now available via a standardized set of commands that's supported by Veeam. And that's really why we've been working with them since the beginning on this, is now they can write to this command and it works with us. It also works with cloud storage. So you really, wherever you're backing up your data to, you have the ability to use this object lock feature to protect yourself from ransomware.
Yeah, John, a lot of great takeaways here. I mean, we've got automated storage, automated security, it's hybrid model, lots of choices where to keep your data on premises or in the cloud. And you guys offer the services too to help put all this into play, don't you?
And we've got customers. As I said, about 200 of our customers are service providers. So if you can't, if buying a complete system is beyond your requirements, you can go to a Cloudian service provider and get that feature from them. Because, as I said, there's hundreds of them around the world offering it today.
Yeah, Jon Toor, CMO of Cloudian. Thank you very much for your time today and for catching us up on what the company's doing. And you are definitely innovating, and that's good. So congratulations on that.
Indeed. Thank you, Chris. Great to be with you.
For everybody that's following along to the end, thank you very much and have a great rest of your eWEEK. Thanks for joining us on eWEEK eSpeaks. Go to eWEEK.com to hear more conversations with IT thought leaders.